Steph, you have some moves I want to talk about because maybe they reflect your view on what you think's happening in the market. You sold DuPont. You want to tell me about that before we discuss some of the other moves that you made?
Yeah, I mean, I needed cash, to be honest with you. I have a very low amount of cash, and I wanted to buy other things. And so DuPont, I love the spin, but the spin is going to happen in like 12 to 16 months, and so I think you have time. Also, 53% of their revenues are overseas, and I worry a little bit about the strong dollar. And so the near term, in terms of earnings risk, could be substantial. Not to mention China is about 20% of their revenues as well. We all know what is happening in China. And so I was kind of flattish on the position, Scott. So I took that and I put it into Diamondback. I've rebought that. I've owned that for years, and I sold it for a nice gain late last year. And I just think the stock at the valuation and 11 times forward estimates, and this company doing a fabulous job in the combination of growing production and also keeping costs low. The free cash flow is enormous, and they're going to continue to return that to shareholders. And most importantly, this Endeavor deal that they did is going to be $2 billion accretive between now, $2 billion each year between now and 2030, and that's a nice tailwind no matter what happens on the energy front, in my opinion.
You bought more Boeing.
I did, because we talked about this late last year, and I was restricted for a while. But I think the worst is behind the company. I think this is a 2025 story, my favorite one. And so if I believe that, I actually want to put my money where my mouth is. And by the way, I did trim a little bit of GE to buy the Boeing. Ooh. I still own a lot of GE, but I needed some cash, right? I just had, like I said, I'm very low. But I think the worst is behind the company. You've got a new leadership. You're seeing changes almost every day in terms of the leadership. So the new CEO is bringing in new people, and the CEO has a proven track record of strong execution. But most importantly, they just raised $21 billion in capital, and it gives them 3 years to buy them time to get through some of these problems. In the meantime, the 737, the MAX series, is on pace to get back to 38 per month. And therefore, if they can, and they can do 400 planes this year, and they can deliver them, free cash flow, the guidance is probably too low. I think they could maybe even do flat free cash flow, and you're going to see something like $6 or $7 billion in the next 3 years in free cash flow growth, and I want to be part of that.
Okay.